I read about it in the Fiji Times that Fiji was importing close to $700-800 to $1 million of mushrooms per year. So I thought, and there was no one cultivating mushrooms over here. All the mushrooms that were coming into Fiji were imported.
Several years ago, Ashneil too believed that it was impossible to grow mushrooms in Fiji due to the soaring high temperatures. Located at the heart of the southwestern Pacific, Fiji is a typical tropical island nation. Constrained by its geography and climate, its output of produce is particularly insufficient. Grains, meats, and even vegetables rely heavily on costly imports. Fiji has been seeking solutions to counter this. The success of mushroom cultivation using Juncao technology in the tropical region of Papua New Guinea offered Fiji a glimpse of hope. In 2014, with the arrival of the first batch of supplies, the Juncao technology project was initiated in Fiji. The first challenge the expert team faced post-implementation was dealing with the high temperatures. At 30 degrees Celsius, medium temperature edible mushrooms, such as oyster mushrooms, struggled to adapt. This significantly affected the quality of the final product. The expert team tried various methods to address this.
我们开头想的是打地下水来降温，我们打了几口井，它的水温都是30度，太高了，这个又是个技术难题。
Known as the crossroads of the South Pacific, Fiji is dotted with cargo containers. Inspired by cold chain transportation, the expert team purchased 6 second-hand containers to convert them into air-conditioned rooms for the mushrooms, thus solving the high-temperature issue.
This is edible, and that one is medicinal. It's different kinds. They can harvest 3 to 4 times. Yes, it's very good.
When Fiji succeeded in growing mushrooms, Ashneil saw a business opportunity in the news. The high cost of imported mushrooms meant a huge potential market share for domestically produced ones. The advantages in logistics and price on hitting the market meant that as long as mushrooms could be cultivated, they were sure to sell. In 2017, after learning about the container-based mushroom cultivation method through the Juncao technology training, Ashneil was convinced that even in Lautoka, the second largest city in Fiji known for its hot, dry climate, growing mushrooms was no longer an impossibility.
Chinese expert had grown mushrooms over here. So when we had an opportunity to grow mushrooms, so I thought of taking up that opportunity and using that to generate income for my family.
Ashneil's 10-year-old son is already a capable helper. For as long as he can remember, this cold house has always been in their home. It was a gift from the China-Fiji Juncao Technology Demonstration Center.
They had showed us how the grow room was operating, and there was only 3 variables that they were controlling: was the fresh air, the ventilation, and the humidity, controlling the temperature and the environment so that mushrooms would grow with great quality.
With 20 years of work experience in computer network maintenance, Ashneil was able to make the cold house more labor-saving and efficient.
We had to fill the water in every 8 hours or maybe a day or 2, and then we had to go refill. So the reason why I modified that was so that I do not have to go in and manually fill in the water for the humidifier.
有些改造的比我们还更接地气，成本还更低，因为他自己动手操作的，自己会干，这个也是一个创新。
The container-based mushroom cultivation method requires continuous use of electricity for cooling, which brings about particular economic and technical requirements. However, thanks to innovative local mushroom farmers like Ashneil, the widespread adoption of Juncao technology in Fiji became more and more practical.
Initially, I was a bit stressed about it, but as I got to know to properly control the environment, my electricity bill was coming down. We can close to about 40 to 50 kgs of mushrooms can be harvested from that 20-foot container. We can generate close to 2,000 to 2,500 per month.
This year marks the 7th year since Ashneil was introduced to Juncao technology. With keen insight and strong commitment, he also became the first mushroom farmer in Fiji to successfully produce his own mushroom substrate packs.
There are a lot of interested people who are not able to come to my physical training. So what I do is I make them the ebook available to them online, whichever is convenient to them. There is a saying that you reap what you sow. I mean, if you're doing mushroom cultivation, you do your hard work and you'll reap the benefits out of it.
Ashneil hopes that more and more people will master this technology, allowing locally grown mushrooms to enter the market and reach more households. Juncao mushroom cultivation techniques have ended Fiji's long dearth of mushrooms and having to rely on imports. The experts have also adapted planting methods to the climatic features of different regions. In the humid and cool southeastern part of Fiji, local farmers can grow mushrooms using the simplest soil casing cultivation. This small and beautiful agricultural project also allows more Fijians to escape the constraints of the seasons and climate, offering a more stable livelihood. On a remote island in the eastern part of Fiji, 74-year-old Alusio Tawakevudua is preparing to collect the crabs caught the day before. Like the other residents on the island, Tawakevudua's family primarily earns income through fishing, crabbing, and cassava cultivation. However, the ecological damage in recent years due to warming waters, combined with the unusually long rainy season this year, has significantly reduced the crab yield. Every crab trap proved a disappointment, and this trip didn't even cover the cost of the boat. In the past, such fruitless trips might have impacted the family's livelihood. But this time, Tawakevudua is not overly frustrated. The land under the trees behind his house is Tawakevudua's great hope. The layers of thriving mushrooms there provide him with solace. A few years ago, when Tawakevudua was nearly 70 years old, he attended a training class introduced by a local Juncao technology extension officer and brought back the mushroom substrate packs given to him as gifts to the island.
And I was very pleased with him when he was interested in mushroom production. So he went with it with all his heart. And before, he used to rely to the family members. Now, with the mushroom income that from the planting he done, he was able to feed the family.
I'm happy in harvesting the mushroom because it takes just plant for a few days, then harvest.
Tawaka Vudua grows oyster mushrooms, harvesting 3 crops every month and no longer affected by the rainy season. The income has given him the ability to improve his family's living conditions. The young man singing is Tawaka Vudua's grandson, Paul.
One year, 3 months, the mother died. Then I take him from that age till now, it's 25 years now.
Paul has shown exceptional musical talent from a young age and has even been invited to pursue a career abroad.
There's plenty people here go to Australia and New Zealand. They say, no, I want to stay with you because you are getting old. So kind to us. And he loves us. He loves us.
I want to give back what they did to me. So I just want to find a job so to make them happy.
Paul is still in college and can only return to the island during his holidays. The family cherishes these reunions. But these days, Tawaka Vudua is a little worried. The land that should be sprouting is silent, indicating that the mushroom substrate packs, which have produced several batches of mushrooms, are depleted and need replacing. But the island's connection to the outside world sometimes just depends on luck, and all he can do now is wait. Hundreds of kilometers away in Nadi, the Chinese experts are also anxious. The mushroom substrate packs in the cultivation workshop are mature, but recent rains in eastern Fiji have disrupted roads, preventing the timely delivery of the new packs to farmers. The expert team is calculating a time for departure, hoping that the weather will clear up. The continuous heavy rains seem to be subsiding. Tawaka Vudua quickly asked his neighbor to try making another phone call.
Hello. Yeah. We need some more. Mushroom, eh? Yeah. What time? What time? Okay, tomorrow morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Naka.
Naka.
The next day, the expert team departed from Nadi and arrived on the island after a 7-hour journey. Apart from the new mushroom substrate packs Tawaka Vudua urgently needs, some mushroom cultivation techniques suitable for the rainy season are crucial.
Mr. Tawake, some points you have to pay more attention. Do not leave the plastic completely covered. That is not good. Will be lack of the oxygen for the mushroom to grow. So that's really important is for the oxygen.
A few days later, Tawaka Vudua's mushroom shed welcomed another bountiful harvest. He hoped to sell the mushrooms at a good price while they were still fresh.
The cassava grow for 8 months to 9 months in harvest. Sweet potatoes, 5 months. Planting mushroom is easy, but it's quick, yeah? Good money. It's good to plant mushroom rather than the other plant.
2 hours later, Tawaka Vudua arrives at a farmer's market in the capital, Suva.
Yeah, I'm selling mushroom.
The thing was spreading quickly. It says, we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Yeah, okay.
This transaction earned Tawaka Vudua over 100 Fijian dollars. Next, he plans to expand his cultivation area because his small agricultural project is helping him realize a long-cherished plan. Building a new house for Paul behind his own.
Yeah. Come on, live in a bedroom, door, is toilet and bathroom. 30,000. Yeah. We keep it a little bit. Or somehow keeping the mushroom money and fishing. But I'll try.
Tawaka Vudua's family is just a microcosm of the Fijian families who fight for survival and a decent life. This tropical island nation, highly susceptible to climate change, now has more options to cope with extreme weather thanks to Juncao technology.
I'm really proud of my work, looking after 15,000 acres of land with around 4,000 animals of different classes. I think it's great to have this session with you guys.
"49-year-old Ulayasi patrols this vast ranch daily. As the livestock manager of Fiji's largest beef cattle supply base, the health of the animals is constantly on his mind. In Fiji, there are just 2 seasons in the year, the dry season and the rainy season. From May to October, during the hot and dry season, the ranch can face severe shortages of green fodder, causing significant weight loss in the cattle and sheep.
There are a lot of death due to low nutrition, no water. It creates a lot of problem to the farmers.
The half-yearly fodder crisis forced the Yakara ranch to spend a significant amount of money on feed each year. Having to import it at high cost severely hampered the development of the ranch. Over the years, Ulayasi and his colleagues had been searching for drought-resistant fodder. In September 2014, when Juncao technology was first introduced to Fiji, To store substrates for mushroom cultivation, Chinese and Fijian experts planted the seeds of giant Juncao grass brought from China at a local agricultural station. Just as the Chinese experts had anticipated, this small experimental field quickly flourished. The locals became curious about this tall grass species. Many of them signed up for the Juncao technology training class as soon as it began.
You will learn about Juncao technology as you go along the day. You might be saying, what is Juncao? What is it talking about?
当时很多人来参加，有医生啊，有老师啊，兴趣非常高。因为我们有介绍我们这个聚菌草有什么作用啊。
Years of practice have proven that giant Juncao grass is a high-yield, quality fodder suitable for growing in tropical to subtropical climates. It is perennial and highly drought-resistant. These excellent characteristics impressed representatives from the Yakara Ranch, who immediately established contact with the expert group.
Appreciate the cooperation between you and Niagara, you guys and Niagara, and us.
After learning about the challenges faced by the ranch, the expert group conducted a field survey. After discussion, they decided to plant 7 acres of giant Juncao grass as a trial before the dry season approached.
Because it was a new crop introduced to our farm, there was some doubts that maybe it won't survive in the harsh conditions that we have.
At the time, no one could have imagined the astonishment this decision would bring to the entire ranch.
In 3 months' time. So that's when we'll be harvesting it. So it'll go taller than this. This is about close to 4.5 feet now.
3 months later, when the cattle and sheep at the Yakara Ranch began feeding on locally cultivated Chinese Juncao, all doubts were dispelled. Fiji has entered the dry season. While other grass species on the ranch begin to yellow and wither, the giant Juncao grass has grown taller than a person. With its strong tillering ability, the ranch is a lush and vibrant scene.
We have seen that, Juncao really survive well in the conditions that we have. That luster green, and it's really working well for us in feeding our animals during this period.
The success of giant Juncao grass at the Yakara Ranch was no fluke. As a C4 plant, it exhibits a higher rate of photosynthesis under high temperatures, intense sunlight, and relatively dry conditions, yielding up to 100 or 200 tons per acre per year. The sweet taste of success encouraged the Yakara Ranch to quickly develop an expansion plan. Today, the total planted area on the ranch has reached 170 acres, and the number of livestock has quadrupled.
I encourage the boys to harvest the Juncao grass at 6 to 8 weeks interval. Once we cut in 6 to 8 weeks time, the grass is ready for another harvest.
Such lush greenery during the dry season is a scene the ranch workers could never have imagined before the introduction of the giant Juncao grass. With the grass in place, feeding the livestock is no longer an issue, but can it also improve their diet?
Even we look at times then animals are breaking into the fence, showing that, the nutrition content of this grass is perfect.
The surprises that giant Juncao grass brought to the ranch didn't stop there. Scientific calculations have shown that the crude protein content of 1 acre of giant Juncao grass is equivalent to that of 8 acres of corn. As fodder, it not only significantly speeds up the growth of livestock, but also improves the quality of the meat. This characteristic is equally tempting for the ranch. While supplying beef cattle, the Yakara Ranch also sells its own beef products, and its distance from town does not stop the diners from coming.
We are seeing the increase in our sales, especially from some of the hotel owners around the area. We have a new board now. They come up with a very good plan to change the whole of Yangara, and part of it is we are targeting to increase our area to 500 acres so that it can cater for all the animals in the 3 stations. Kuanisoro, rakarak chegubak toko, which means don't give up, always work hard for better things. If we give up, then we will not achieve good things in future.
Today, the planting area of giant Juncao grass across Fiji has exceeded 1,100 acres. The number of farmers using it to feed their livestock is over 1,000. With the support of Juncao technology, the problem of feed shortages during the dry season in Fiji is gradually becoming a thing of the past, while the country's livestock industry is developing rapidly. Fiji, this beautiful country surrounded by the blue ocean, has found in Juncao technology a new driving force for addressing climate change and promoting economic development. The consistent principle of sustainable development, which underlies Juncao technology, also presents a broad vision of green development for those who most value it.